Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided that I'm gonna stop with the voiceovers. I'm gonna talk straight to you. So I was going through a lot of ideas in my head and I was like, what is something that everyone wants to be able to do? That's something that's natural but also kind of glam, something that you can do outside or to a party or an event, but it's like neutral too. So I decided that I'm going to use my Tarteist palette, the Tarteist Pro, and I'm going to be using this one today. And this is a great palette. It's one of my favorites. As you can see, it is so used up, and like if I open it up, almost everything is just completely used. So I'm gonna just do a brown bronzy smoky eye today, and yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna just start off by priming my lids, and you can use an eye primer, but I usually go with a concealer. I'm gonna go in with a light concealer because if you use light concealers, they just pop on your eyes, like the colors will pop on your eyes. So I'm gonna use my Colourpop in medium tan, and I'm just gonna prime my lids. Yeah, and I'm just gonna blend this in with my fingers. Oh, and I already have my eyebrows done, just so you know, because I do not have naturally amazing brows. But if you would like to see, maybe I'll come out with a tutorial for my brows much later, but if you'd like to see how I get my eyebrows done, then just leave it in the comments below and I'll make a tutorial about that too. So the first thing we're going to start off with is transition shades. What transition shades do is it makes it easier. Well, first I'm going to go ahead with a light color just to set my concealer or my primer so that whatever color I put on top of it, it's easier to blend. And use Classic in my Tarteist palette, this one right here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and put that all over my lid. It's not gonna be my transition color, this is just gonna be my setting powder, just to set my primer for this time. And then I'm gonna go ahead with Chic, this one right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that all over the lid. So you wanna just keep on sweeping it back and forth like that, and use a very light hand in this. I'm using my Wet n Wild brush. These are really cheap, these are really affordable, really good quality for the price. So after I've used Chic, I am going to go ahead and use Bold with this color right here, and I'm going to use the same brush. It's okay if you have leftovers because it's really nothing. You're gonna just go ahead and sweep it on top of that color. So what we're trying to do now is we're just darkening up slowly by slowly, and this is gonna be an easy transition. So after doing that, I'm gonna go ahead with this color called Innocent right over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and darken up my lid. Like not on my lid, but on my crease, sorry. So I'm just putting that on my crease, and I'm gonna just swipe that back and forth. I'm doing this very gently, so I'm not sure if it looks like I'm doing it very rough, but I'm doing it very gently. So you wanna just make sure, keep on going back to that color, just like that. See, the key to a good eyeshadow that stays on all day and does not crease up on you and does not, blend all day, and like just to make it look more cleaner, the key is to blend it for a long time. A lot of the times we kind of just, swipe off on a color and we just do this and we're done. If you're only using one eyeshadow, that's totally fine. But if you're gonna do a whole entire smoky eye kind of look, then you wanna make sure that you are constantly blending. It's very important, so. All right, I'm just gonna do one eye on camera and then I'll do the next eye off camera so that it's easier to keep track, and I'm gonna pull you guys closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, so now that I've scooted you guys closer in, I'm gonna go ahead with this color right here called Whimsy, and that's gonna be this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and darken up my lid even more. I put a lot of emphasis on here, so I kind of just dab here like a couple of times and then I go back in just like that. So it's giving a little bit of a gradient effect All right, so I'm gonna just go back in with it and I'm gonna keep on darkening up my crease. And as you can see, I am using the same brush. That's only because this brush, like it doesn't have a significant color. It's just the lighter browns that I started with and now the darker brown, so it's not gonna make much of a difference. I am creating a smoky eye, so it's important for that gradient to stay. Right now, I am going to switch up a color and I'm gonna actually continue using this brush, but I'm gonna use this Color Swap by Quo. It's like the sponge thing in here, and all you have to do is you have to do this, like just spin it around in there, and it literally takes off all the eyeshadow. Like it's all gone, which is so cool. And it's so much more convenient than me having to switch up. Like I have a lot of brushes, but it's just more convenient for me to just continue using the same one. So right now, I think I'm done with my transition colors. I'm gonna just keep it like that. And what I'm gonna do now in the midpoint is I'm actually going to go ahead and take a loose powder. You can use a white or a translucent loose powder. I'm using my Fit Me in 20 and I'm going to be using this. I'm just going to put it right here just so that like it doesn't pass this area. It's just going to be kind of setting here. That way my shadows don't go past it. Normally I would use my sponge, but I don't have my sponge today, so I'm just going to be using this brush. This is from the Naked 2 palette. This is one of the most amazing brushes. I used to have the Naked 2 palette until I threw it out. Yeah, I just had to part with it because I'd had it for way too long and I never ended up using it completely, and it kind of just started breaking. Speaking of breaking, and this is like the saddest thing that happened to me today, probably the saddest thing that's happened to me like in a long time. So I opened up my makeup bag and I don't know if you can see, it broke into pieces. I'm literally tearing up as I say this. My girls would understand what I'm going through right now.
Anyways, back to the shadow.
So after you've done doing that, that's gonna stay there until we're done doing the eye, okay? I know a lot of people like to use the tape method, but this one works much better. You'll see. So I'm gonna go in with Edgy, this one right here. I'm gonna go ahead and darken up my crease. I'm gonna just put that all over my crease, okay? And I'm not gonna pass that area that we just powdered. I'm just gonna keep that in the crease. We're just adding color just to the crease. So now that I want to go like deep in my crease and create a more like specific kind of edgy line, just darken up this inner corner right here, I'm gonna take a more like tapered, smaller blending brush, and what this is gonna do, it's gonna kind of make the line that I'm making on my crease, it's gonna just make it a bit more precise, and that's gonna just give it that smoky look. So I'm just going in, making sure that I'm darkening up the corner the most. Like I'm still going to the inner corner. Like I'm keeping the attention on my dark corner as well as my inner corner, but the dark corner just needs a bit more of that darkness. And this is great if you have hooded eyes like I do. We always struggle to find like an eyeshadow look that will flatter us, that will show up on our eyes. And I know, like I get it, you know, I understand. So this is definitely gonna flatter it. So one trick that I use all the time is whenever, no matter what eyeshadow look I do, I always make sure that I kind of build my own kind of crease. And so that's literally what I'm doing. And I know this is taking a long time, but trust me, the more you blend, the more you take time, the better it will come out. So I'm gonna go back with my Wet n Wild brush, the one that I was using earlier, and I'm not gonna take any color on this. I'm just gonna blend it more. There's no color on this. Remember how I took it off with this thing? And so there's no color on this, I'm just blending it out. So what this is gonna do is gonna give it more of a softer gradient look, more smoked out look. The reason that I'm not adding any color on my actual lid right here is because I'm not gonna cut the crease today, but I'm gonna go in with a sparkle, like a bronzy sparkle. So that's what we're gonna do for the eye. Right now it's ready. And what I'm gonna go in with, I want it to go in with my Glam over here, this one. All right, so I'm gonna go in with my Color Shock, and this is supposed to be a highlighter, but I've used it on my lids before and it comes out so beautiful. So I'm gonna use this color right here. The color is Churro.
Churro, churro, churro.
Whatever it is. I'm gonna use that color. For this, you're gonna need a synthetic brush. I know that my Wet n Wild brushes work really well, and some of my Morphe brushes work really well, but the best thing to do is actually use your fingers. It shows up so clear on your fingers. Like, I'll swatch it for you right now. Look, this is the color. And I'm not even pressing on it. So we're gonna put that on the lid. It's really pigmented. I'm gonna put that on the inner corners of my eyes, and you're gonna see how well it pops up. Like, look at that already. You can do the dabbing. The dabbing works because it is a creamy formula, so dabbing it will work. So I'm just taking it on my ring finger like that, and I'm just going to start on my inner corner and just emphasize on the inner corner because that's where it will pop the most. And then from there, I will use a brush to kind of blend it in. I'm gonna use my Morphe 332 brush. This one right here, and it looks like that. And that's the one I'm gonna use just to blend in the inner colors that I put on before. And this has no color on it. So I'm gonna literally just use it to blend that sparkly color that I used earlier, and I'm gonna just blend that in very gently, very softly. One thing that you don't want to do is you do not want to start pulling on your eyes. Like, do you see how my eyelid is not moving? I've seen people that pull on their eyes so much that it literally looks like that, and that's not something you want to do unless you're putting stuff on your crease and you're not really pulling it. It looks like it, but that's not what it's doing. See, when I was younger, I used to make that mistake so much. I used to literally be like, I used to go in. I used to be like, yeah.
Yep, I'm so cool. I'm so good at eyeshadow. Like, look.
What ended up happening is I started creating fine lines on my eyelids. So yeah, don't do that. I'm gonna continue blending that in, okay? In your inner corner, don't be afraid. Be very soft. When you're doing this, you have to be very soft with a very, very light hand, okay? And just keep on going back and forth in that crease area. That's all that's gonna help to just blend this color in completely. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that color that I used earlier. I'm gonna take my Morphe 330, and it looks like this. And this is the brush that I used to apply edgy with. And right now I'm gonna go in with a darker one, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that, add that on my inner corners right here. And I'm gonna set it right there. So all I'm doing right now is I'm taking that color and I'm just dabbing it on the outer corner. And then I'm gonna go in once, and then I'm just gonna go straight to the outer corner again. What that's gonna do is it's gonna give a gentle kind of cut crease right there, but it's not gonna give too much. And I'm just blending this outwards just like that. And I'm not going out of this, obviously, this powder that I have over here. I'm just blending it out just like that, so that there's a definition on your eyelid, but it's not like too heavy and it's not going out. So that's literally all we're gonna do for that part. Now, this part that I put on my Colourpop shadow, I'm gonna leave that. It's bronzy, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this other color that I have from Colourpop. It is called Wisp. There it is. So it's this color right here. It's like a gold, and this is also a highlighter that I'm using as a shadow. So I love this color. It's so beautiful. I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my M124 by Morphe, and it looks like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that color. Because it's not a synthetic brush, it does not pick up much, but however much it is picking up, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put that on my inner corner. And this is just gonna make it pop. This look is meant to be very easy. It's not supposed to give you a hard time because literally all the colors that I've used is so straightforward, and I'm only using one palette basically. Like, if you really didn't want to use the Colourpop ones, you can literally use this one first because it's the bronzy color, and then after that just put this gold one on and boom, you're done. You don't need the Colourpop ones. The only reason I'm using them is because I really love how smooth it is and how soft it is on my eyes, and I just wanted to really try it out on this look, so that's why I'm using it. It just makes it pop a little bit more, I feel. Like, this palette had a lot of good reviews, but it also had a lot of bad reviews, and most of their bad reviews came from the duochrome shade. Like, they're beautiful, and I'll swatch them out for you actually. So the first color that I'll actually swatch out is this one here. Like, it is beautiful. It is so pigmented. See that? And then the second color, which is called Glam. That's also beautiful. My favorite is actually this one right here, and it's called Minx. And that's beautiful. Maybe I'll do a look with that one day. And this one is also really nice. Yeah, this is beautiful. This one right here, that one is gorgeous. And I think Kathleen Lights actually did a collaboration with Colourpop, and they came out with Dream Street, which actually has that color, and it's one of the most beautiful colors, and I actually have that same palette, so I will be doing a look on that palette soon, but it's a beautiful color. So I love all of them. It's just that you have to know how to use them. So one thing that I always do, because I didn't do a cut crease, but one thing that I always do is I make sure that my lines are always clean. You can always go in and fix that up if you're not happy with it, but you want to always make sure, if anything, your lines just at least have to be clean. The most important part of an eyeshadow look. Otherwise, it just looks it just looks messy, and you don't want that kind of look. So I'm gonna go in with that same brush that I used from Morphe, the blending brush, which is the M332, this one right here, and it looks like a little tapered one. And I'm gonna go ahead and just keep blending the edges, because that is the most important part. You just want to make sure that it's not harsh. Okay, so just blend for as long as you need to. All right, whenever you're ready with your blending, when you think that you're good to go, you can take a clean brush off that bake that we had going there. You see how it kept like that clean line? It didn't go outside of that line, but it's not like the tape where it's like sharp. It's like kind of just smooth, but it kept it in exactly where I needed it to be. So that's literally what we're trying to get. Like, it's so beautiful. I love it. I love this look already. So what I'm gonna do now is before I go ahead and do anything with my face, I will go ahead and do this eye, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I have my other eye done, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my face. To start off, I'm gonna prime my face. I'm using the Ordinary, which is this one right here. It is the silicone primer. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this primer, and I'm gonna prime all over my face with this. So I have this all over my face. It's really moisturizing. It doesn't even feel like a primer. It doesn't even feel like it has silicone. I'm gonna go ahead with my foundation. The first one that I'm using, I'm gonna mix actually two of my favorite foundations together. One of them is like semi-matte, and the other one is like dewy. I'm using my Maybelline. This is the one called Golden, shade 312. I'm gonna be putting one pump, so I'm just gonna literally have one pump of that, and then I'm gonna use half of this one, which the color I have right now is 660. It's the Covergirl Vitalist Elixir. Focus, there it is. So that's what I do, and you can use a sponge, beauty sponge, to apply this, or you can use a brush. I'm using my Kabuki brush. This is called the BBCC application brush, and this one is really good because it's like a Kabuki, but it also has this center here where you can actually squeeze out your foundation on here. You don't have to use the back of your hand, but I just did this for the purpose of mixing it together. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix that, and I'm gonna apply that to my face. I'm gonna take it down my neck. It's because you always want your foundation to match your neck. And if your foundation is ever too light for you, you can use bronzers to kind of deepen it up and darken it up a little bit. And if it's too dark for you, then you can use your concealer, like a lighter concealer, just to lighten it up a little bit. So that's the trick. So the lipstick that I'm going to be using is Maybelline. This is the Carnal Brown. It's a new ones that they came out with. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my lips. It's a cool shaded nude. It's like a kind of a gray. So you can either wear this like this and your look is over. This is it. This is a look. Or you can even put like a pink lip gloss on it if you really want that effect. Or that bold look that I was talking about is the new Instagram trend, which is putting that gold that we put up there, putting it on your lips just like that. And that's the look. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully it's gonna be a talk through because I love this. I love talking to you guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.